Sorry.
All right, that's fine.
Maybe we can do it after. Let's do it after.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so let's call the meeting into order at 7:04.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Know what? So it says this meeting is now streaming live.
Yeah. What's oh no?
I was not saying anything.
Yeah, it is.
Where?
It's still right here. Live
It
on
looks good.
Yeah, let's go with it.
It says it's or not recording, but it says it's live.
Is she still there?
Yeah,
Okay.
unless her.
We're good.
All right. Okay. So yeah, call the meeting into order at 7:05.
Okay, hand my stuff right there.
And first thing on the agenda is old business. Do we need to vote on the minutes, right? Yeah, call the meeting into order.
Yep, it's working, Mark.
Okay, yeah, I just heard.
It's working, yeah.
I was like, where'd that come from? All right.
Yeah. I'll vote to accept the minutes from last month's meeting.
All right. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Silent thing.
All right. Passes. Hang on. Let me pull up. I had the meetings and I put them, or the minutes, then I put them away. Here we go. All right. And drive-through movie. So, I mean, first off, thank you everyone for, doing so much and coming together and contributing. I think everyone did something which is really awesome. And I have nothing but good things to say about it. And that email from Tracy was pretty awesome. To have her, say that she's, happy about everything that happened and she's heard everything, all good things. So, Melinda, I know a couple of days ago the screen was ripped. Has that been taken care of?
So the town guys ended up getting in front of it, and they took it down and disposed of it.
Oh,
I was kind of en route. We had some correspondence between Dean Whitwer and Melinda, and in a frenzy, I ran down there with my ladder, and by the time I got there, it was gone. So Melinda confirmed that the town public works department had gotten ahead of it, removed it, and disposed of it.
Oh, okay.
So
that's awesome.
while we're on the subject,
Yep.
and I asked Dean to be present for this meeting tonight. I don't know if he is watching via YouTube or not, but he had some pretty decent ideas about next year, whether we're in a pandemic situation or not. It seems that the drive-in movie is kind of a hit,
Yeah, it really is.
It's not a really huge expense. It gets people outside. It's fun, and actually, we had the biggest turnout last week than ever, and people were really nice. They were actually very nice, except for one person in a Mercedes that had a really
okay. Yeah, there's always.
She probably didn't have anything good to say about me because I was laughing at her. But it was a great turnout. 50 or so vehicles.
Wow.
It went well. Belinda, she's not. I don't see her. Is she here?
Yeah.
Is that you, Belinda?
Yep.
Mark was a huge help. He was huge. So please extend my thanks to him, because if he weren't there, it would have been trouble. So anyway, so what Dean was saying was that we should look into inflatable or retractable type screen that we can remove or make secure after the fact, so we don't have to go back and keep repairing, replacing, you know. So it would be worthwhile for us to kind of look into something bigger, maybe even. 20 by 11 seems to be on the small side, especially with 55 plus cars.
Okay.
Or 50 plus, I should say.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something we should start talking about for the spring, you know?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
certainly not opposed to that. I know just in previous experience, they're really expensive.
Yeah, I expect that. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if you recall, but last year we had like kind of a funny political time when it got down to the last couple months of the budget, and we were like, all right, let's spend some money, you know?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do that. Let's be proactive and see if we can find something, you know?
Yeah. And we might get lucky. I know oftentimes you can buy them used, or like if what are they called? If a company's going out of business or something like that, you know, we can buy them that way too. So it's definitely worth looking into.
Yeah. It's
I
been
just
a
know
hit.
that
It's been a hit.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I mean, yeah, based on the positive feedback and like you said, to have 50 plus people on the last movie is pretty awesome.
There was a family that drove down from Hartford.
Really?
And we had closed off the opening, the drive-in. And she was like, really? She's like, I just brought my 3 kids down from Hartford because this is something to do. I was like, all right, come on in. Yeah, she was pleased. She was happy.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's awesome. And I, unfortunately I wasn't able to make it to the last one. But I mean, I know personally, I loved it. The 3 or 4 other times that I went, it's just something fun to go to. And it's awesome that it's free for the whole community. So, but yeah, so I can look into prices and whatnot. I do think depending on size, it could be upwards of $2,000 or $3,000, if not possibly more. And we just need to consider logistics. You know, like takes a little bit of time to set up, takes a little time to break down, and then also having a nice place to store it so that it's out of the weather, and doesn't get ruined. So just other than that, I mean, I'd say it's definitely worth it.
Well, we should be coming into a little facility soon, right?
Yeah, hopefully with the garage. Yeah.
Does anybody know how quickly that's moving or no?
Nah.
No.
I don't have any updates.
Okay.
But yeah, so all right. Anyone else have any comments about
I think next year we should look into possibly having food trucks there, even if it's just one food truck out of each event.
Yeah.
And because people asked about the ice cream truck.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that either. Yeah. Definitely not opposed to that. I was gonna say my only concern would be we don't want to grow this too much. How was it with the 50 people or 50 cars? Was it difficult to manage?
I think we were pushing the limits. I think that was it.
Okay.
That was full. 50 cars should be the limit.
But that's not to say that 50 vehicles can enjoy a food truck. So
no.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm all for that for next year. And then going forward, well, Swank and Criterion usually offer discounts if you purchase them in bundles. I know this year we did it like movie by movie, but if we can plan, not that we didn't have a plan in place, it just happened that every other movie was either Swank or Criterion. So maybe we should take that into consideration next year, and maybe save just $100 or $200 here or there. So, all right. What's next? Oh, here we go. Trunk or treat. Again, sorry I wasn't able to make it. This new job is interesting. But how'd that go?
Linda, go ahead.
Sorry, I just was listening to you and Mark talk at the same time. It was delayed. It was ridiculous. Trunk or treat went very well. We've got many positive feedback. I think there was over 130 something cars that was
wow.
counted.
Awesome.
You were right, Courtney. You were right.
But I don't know. But as you suggested, I mean, like people said, they waited in line for 30 minutes for a 10-minute, go through, but they absolutely loved it. They loved the dark. They loved all the trunkers. It was just, I got so much positive feedback. I think I've only really I know quite a few people in Voluntown. I think I only saw 6 that were actually definitely Voluntown. But there was people from New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts.
I saw a Wisconsin plate.
Okay, there you go, Wisconsin. So, but you had suggested a counter for next time, which I agree.
Yeah.
And then also walkie-talkie so that the people directing traffic could communicate, which I do have at the school. I have plenty of those, so that is definitely not a problem. I think it went great. Everybody, even the trunkers had a great time.
Awesome. Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, let me read off that email that Tracy wrote. I'm not sure if all of you got it, but
I didn't see either of them, Mark, from for the movie night or from Trunk or Treat.
Okay, it was the same. So here, I'll read it. This is from Tracy. It says, "Hi everyone. I have heard so many good things about the drive-through Trunk or Treat. Great job organizing and running the event. I could hear the adults talking about it as they were driving through, and I could see the excitement on the faces of the kiddos. Well done and thank you. I also wanted to thank you for doing the drive-in movies. Again, I have heard all positive feedback. Melinda mentioned you were going to discuss a different screen, and I would like to suggest a screen that is easy to take down, and would also suggest that it is taken down within a day or two of the event. I have seen the crazy winds. I have seen that the crazy winds make it dangerous to be up long term." Then she also suggested, "I'm wondering if you all thought about doing a holiday decorating contest. We could where people decorate their yards. They can send in photos and residents could vote. Maybe businesses would donate prizes. If people wanted to, they could put their property on a holiday display map so people can drive around and look at lights. Just a fun thought. Thank you again for all that you do." Tracy.
It's kind of funny she mentioned that, because when I drive home from Middletown, I sometimes come home through like Haddam and Higginham area. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that area, but I see a lot of signs up about a holiday decorating contest. And it's, again, to get people out, drive around, check out an address, vote on it. You know what I mean? Since we're all in the voting mood lately.
Yeah.
I think Griswold's doing that as well.
Is Griswold doing it too? Yeah.
I saw a big sign in Griswold.
Yeah, I just saw that sign today too.
I saw the sign that they're a red zone, like in a lot of places too.
I saw that.
I think they did something for Halloween too, like for house decorating for Halloween. I don't know if it was through their rec or somewhere else, but I did see people like encouraging you to vote.
Probably not a bad idea. I like that Tracy mentioned it. And it's easy. It doesn't do anything. You don't have to do any work except put it on Facebook and move forward with it,
Maybe instead of having them do a photo, maybe have them do a video, because you think about like what a holiday light display looks like, and it's
Yeah.
more like, you know, I mean, just one picture is not going to do it justice.
Yeah.
They drive around, right?
Well, if they do drive around, but if you wanted anyone to vote on it, then, you know.
Yeah. I mean, this is actually something that I've never done before.
Here's something cool, Mark,
Yeah.
and everybody else. Christmas is on a Friday this year,
Okay.
so we could actually announce it on the Wednesday meeting via our YouTube thing,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
And we could kind of say that that's when the winner will be announced. Maybe, I don't know. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that idea.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That'd be the 23rd, the day before. That we could move our meeting if we have to, but or maybe a special meeting for the
Special meeting.
announcement.
Yeah.
And I could check with the YSB board, so maybe we could kind of co-sponsor together, and YSB could give out some of the prizes as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And since I'm on EDC, I can reach out to local businesses, or Tracy can, to see what their participation will be. I'm sure Town Pizza will be happy to join, or Bronson's, and those types of companies. So yeah, I'm up for it. I honestly, like I said, I haven't done any of this, something like this before. So I mean, I can certainly look into it, but if other people have ideas or experience with this, I'm happy to have someone else take the lead.
I can also reach out to Ryan Aubin and see what his plan is.
Yeah. Do we, like, I haven't seen the signs in Griswold. Would we?
There's one right next to the package store
Okay.
on 138.
Okay. Would we, like, do we have lawn signs displayed like at each house participating, or how would that?
Just tell people, like, if you plan on participating, to let like rec know.
Okay.
I'm looking online right now for just different ideas and other contests, and it has them like register through the rec department with their address and stuff, and that there's a certain day and time they have to keep their displays on.
Okay. Yeah.
On December 11th or whatever it is.
Yeah.
For judging purposes, but I don't know how, like, Tracy had suggested either send in a picture but I think the driving around part sounds more fun.
Yeah.
I think we'll enjoy that more.
Otherwise, the people would.
And how do you decipher who judges? I don't know.
Yeah. And what's the criteria for judging?
Right. Well, so then there's other ones that have categories.
Yeah.
Most whimsical, merry and bright, holiday spirit, most energy efficient, fan favorite. Like, there's a bunch of ideas out there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm all for it. It sounds awesome. And it really goes along with the whole community spirit and whatnot. And I think that's something that I'm really proud of. I think we've really kind of fostered that this year with everything that's going on between the drive-in movie and then the trunk or treat. So I'm all for keeping this going.
Is it worth it to maybe have some number signs made, like 1 through, like, say 25? And
Yeah.
have these people post them in their front yard so you can vote on a number as opposed to an address, because that can get complicated.
I actually like the idea too, because I was kind of thinking, is it safe to be like broadcasting people's addresses?
Yeah. So even if you just post a number, like say, okay, you're contestant number 18, and you put number 18 in front of your house, they may be like, oh, what's that mean? Or you know, as a driving by, and I don't know, and then just stick with social media. So you can say, okay, you can vote on the town rec website for number 18.
Yeah. Yep.
So what do you think? You would post pictures of number 18 or 1 through 25, or?
If you do a picture of each house, then you can like put the number of that house into the picture.
Yeah.
So they know
right.
which.
So then that takes away people driving around and looking at it.
That's correct. That's correct.
But also, I mean, I guess we want people driving around. That's, the point. But
It'd be kind of like a fun search, like go look for number 18,
Yeah.
take a night out and go look for
And I mean,
numbers.
I'm good enough with maps where that's something easy where I can just add numbers to a map and maybe
So-
come up with a map pretty easily.
So kind of like a scavenger hunt.
Like a scavenger hunt, right?
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to put people's addresses though.
Well, you could put the roads though. If he does a map with numbers on it and it's, it's
Just the
in
road.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be the person's name and their specific address and everything.
This could get complicated, huh?
Good.
Yeah.
Winter.
That stuff happens easy.
We can make it
Um,
complicated. What the heck?
What
All right.
else is there to do?
So-
Whatever.
Why don't you let me reach out to Ryan, see what
Yep.
his plan is, and then maybe a couple of us can get together outside of this meeting and try to come up with some kind of proposal on what we could do and maybe have a quick special meeting and vote
Yeah.
on it.
I think it's a lot of it is just having signs made to
Mhm.
put in the individual's front yard, and the
Mhm.
rest can be done via the website and or Facebook.
But we need to come up with, categories and things like that. Like
Right, exactly.
things, right? There's a Clark
Yeah,
Griswold.
right. Don't really need to complicate it. Just be like best Christmas decorations of the year. Boom, done.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
only it's Valentine. You only have 2,000 residents in the town. I mean,
Yeah.
energy efficiency, really? I don't
but
think that's gonna fly.
You could do more than one though.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
figure that out.
So do we want to
Um,
put together a little subcommittee?
Sure.
My
I'll
wife
be
would
at-
love to be involved. She's good with that stuff.
I'll do,
Perfect.
I'll go as YSB.
Okay.
Anybody else besides your wife?
No,
Kristen?
All right, I'll
help.
do it.
I'll help too, Melinda.
Okay, all right, so we'll try to get in touch and we'll figure out something. I'll talk to Ryan this week and see what he has to say, and then the 4 or 3 of us will get together after that.
Erica will help.
no,
Yes, she will.
Rein her in.
no,
She doesn't have anything to do right now.
no, yeah, nothing.
I'll look at that sign when I go by tomorrow by the package store. I don't think it's Griswold Rec that's doing it.
Okay,
I'm thinking there's a different name on it. I can't come up with it right now.
All right.
all right.
And I mean, Kristen, I know you were just looking at you searched it, like Google searched it. If anyone finds like a list of rules or categories, feel free to just send an email, and that way we can all kind of see what the possible categories are.
Yeah, that's what I was initially looking for, but I got sidetracked, so I can look for that.
Okay. That's fine. But yeah, any information, if anyone comes by some, feel free to share it. Okay, we got a little sidetracked there.
Yeah, sorry, that was
trunk or
probably my
treat.
fault.
Oh,
No, no, it was, I had read that email and then Tracy suggested it, but that's good. All right, so trunk or treat, I mean, it sounds like everything went well. Any other feedback or?
Yeah,
comments?
for next year, which who knows if COVID will be done? Who knows? It might be worth expanding, pending how many sites are available. I really think it was a hit. Like me being on the exit, like the last kind of like doorway out. I got a lot of really positive, good positive feedback. And some people were like, that was so fun. Make it bigger next year, Whether the state is okay with that or not is a different story. Pending any rules or regulations.
Of people saying, keep it in the forest no matter what.
Keep it in the forest.
Yeah,
They
I was just-
enjoyed. They really
Yeah,
enjoyed.
that was my
the
next question is COVID or no COVID, is this something that we want to consider going
Yes.
forward?
That's kind of my point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely, if the state allows us to. The only thing is, like, people said something about the kids like walking around trick or treating. That is not going to happen because there's not enough parking to accommodate that.
Right.
But we do have a total of 17 sites that are usable. Plus, if you, like, the parking spots like along the field, we could probably set up some trunkers there, 6 feet apart, depending on COVID or whatever. So I think we could expand it. We're not going to be able to expand it like Hopeville, but I think we definitely could add more cars.
Okay. And honestly, the less people walking around, the better, because it's going to be dark. It's in the middle of the state forest, and we just want to keep people moving in and out. So
Even if we made it strictly a drive-through thing and
Yeah.
no walking, you know?
yeah, that's what I would be in favor for. I think walking around is too much of a liability, especially if it's like, I mean, a bunch of middle school kids,
Right.
you know, a group of them, they might get their candy bin, they go wander off into the woods, and, you know.
And the
Cool,
only
yeah.
other thing I did get feedback was that some of the truckers couldn't see the kids. So maybe when we do the guidelines, we say, hey, put your back light on so that we can see the kids' costumes.
Okay.
Or
Yeah,
that was the only other thing I got.
yeah, okay.
Some people did and some people did not.
Yeah, and hopefully, you know, COVID isn't a thing next year, so maybe it could be a little more personal or intimate where like they can walk up to the car and actually see, you know, who's inside kind of thing. But I think it's probably best to keep the cars moving and less people walking. But yeah, the backlight is a good idea. All right, cool. Awesome. Great job, everyone. I'm really bummed that I wasn't able to make it. I didn't get home until like 6:30, 6:45, and I was tired. So
If there's one more item, just so everyone knows, again, being on the exit of the whole thing, I had a lot of people coming in from 165 by McGuire's.
oh,
So
okay.
it just might be worth putting some signage up on that end as well.
Yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of say use Route 49 entrance.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
a lot of people use like just whatever navigation system they had.
yeah.
And yes, it'll bring you in that way, you know.
Okay.
I had 3 come in all the way off 201.
Oh wow.
One of them in a nice new Tesla. Wasn't gonna
Holy
be
cow.
Wow.
That was
Okay.
an adventurous evening.
Did Melinda? Did Mark Darren have anything to say?
No, not really. I will email him though. I meant to email him yesterday to see if he had
Okay.
any comments, but he drove through and said, this is just great. He was just
Yeah.
so excited.
Oh, awesome.
Melinda, I spoke to him for about 20 minutes and he loved it. He absolutely
good.
loved it. He loved it. And I
Good.
thanked him again for his
Yeah.
help. And by the
I
time we
bought-
left, he was already in his house, kind of hanging out, lights out, you know.
I bought him a tricentennial calendar as a thank you.
Awesome. All right.
I found the Griswold one and they have a website for it that has rules and stuff on it. So I sent everybody the link to the website.
Thank you.
I sent Melinda and Tammy one thing I found online.
Okay.
All right. All right, cool. Moving on to volleyball. I don't know. I think the email was sent to everyone. Hang on, let me.
I forwarded Nate's email to everyone, I believe.
Okay. It was lengthy, so I'm not gonna read it all. Let me see. But did they give? Oh wow, yeah, we can. Okay. All right. So just to kind of summarize it, does everyone know what we're talking about in regards to the volleyball court? Everyone's familiar with that?
Wants to put one in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems to me like they're willing to just give us like consultation and some used equipment. Is that correct? Am I right?
I didn't say, I don't think it was used equipment. I think it was new. But here, I'll read through. Okay, so basically, what's Nate's last name? Sorry, what is it?
Musser, I think it's
Musser.
Nate Mussa. Nate Mussa is the email, I believe.
Okay. So Nate, he's a Valentine resident. If you don't know him, I think he typically participates in our winter volleyball. Last meeting, he proposed the idea of essentially working with us or having us build a volleyball court. But he is like a member of like a private volleyball gym court down in, I think it's either Ledyard or Groton, called the Sandbox. And basically the Sandbox has offered to provide consultation services and some materials or equipment to assist us in building an outdoor volleyball court. So Nate has kind of been emailing back and forth with them a little bit. And basically, the Sandbox is recommending that they recommend that we leverage the town public works to be the ones that build it. I don't know if that's realistic. I think it's more realistic to potentially have volunteers do it. I don't think it's a ton of work, or worst case scenario, we can see if we have money to, basically we just need someone to properly excavate it, and then, level it or survey it. I know a guy in town with a backhoe who I'm pretty confident would be willing to, loan his backhoe, but he has no experience with excavating or surveying. So yeah, that's kind of the big road bump is who's going to build this.
So,
go ahead.
on the excavation part, like
Yep.
if the rec department were willing to pay for the rental of a machine and a truck to move the material, because you'd have to excavate out whatever lawn area that we're planning on putting it, probably excavate for the posts.
Yep.
If we could rent a machine in a day, it could be done.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So even if, surveying, I don't believe is really necessary. It's basically just making a box in the ground and squaring it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's relatively easy. If we want to look into prices for renting a machine for a day, finding a spot, doing the call before you dig, lining up people to put the posts in, literally it could be done in a day.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. Other notes that the Sandbox recommended. So they said that they're available for consultation on specific materials. Obviously, if we're gonna invest in this, we want to get quality materials, including sand. Believe it or not, there is different types of quality of sand. So sand is important, and then also the netting and the pipes and the drainage material. So Sandbox said drainage material would be around $1,200 per quart. And that includes slotted PVC pipe, rolls of black drain, black drain cloth, a few loads of 3/4 of an inch stone. And they recommended essentially having someone donate that material.
Going down and with the cloth over the top of it.
All in all, they estimate that the material should cost around $6,000, including the drainage materials.
I would venture to guess that we could definitely knock that down.
I think so too. I think, with some donations or, volunteer time, I think we can certainly do this for less than $6,000. And then let's see, do they say anything else?
There's good drainage over there. Maybe
Yeah, where would we put it to begin with?
Well, last meeting, I know Nate was thinking of in
By the basketball court.
Yeah, over by the basketball court, playground. I'm not opposed to that, but my two thoughts are one, there's not really any parking over there. So parking's an issue. And there's no shade either. So if you have, 10, 12 people there, and you're playing for 2 hours, it'd be nice to have seating and shade. So I was kind of thinking pretty close to, in proximity to the pavilion, might be a nice location because there's ample parking there. And then also you have the pavilion for shade. So anyone that's not necessarily playing at the time can go relax, get out of the sun, in the pavilion. But also, say if kids want to have a birthday party or, a family get together or something like that, that provides another activity for that party. So that was my kind of thinking. Anyone have any?
So Mike, you said the drainage is pretty good over there?
It should be. But I don't know what kind of drainage. Are they doing the whole thing stone? It's just a permanent drain? We need to.
That's what I'm curious about is like what kind of drainage pipe do you really need to install for this?
I don't think you want to have a whole lot of 3/4 inch stone under there because eventually you're going to get down to it and you'll be digging into it with your feet. Or
Yeah, it's all going to come up. It's all going to come up.
It's going to come up.
I'm almost thinking like just excavating and just putting the sand in.
That's what we did before. We had one over in that area before, just on that kind of on that hill a little bit.
Was it by the Gaga Ball pit basketball court area, or was
where the playscape is now? We had one years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you didn't have any like drainage issues?
No, we just had sand, but I don't remember playing on it when it was right after it rained or anything. So I don't know how, that would work.
So I guess you can probably safely assume the drainage is good. So you could take like the drainage, like engineering right out of it, I would think.
Okay. I mean, I'm not like an expert in that by any means. So I know you're in the construction industry. So if you feel confident that we don't need any type of, PVC piping or, drainage material, then I'm okay with that.
I think if you think a good layer of sand, like a foot or more, it would,
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, sand drains.
Yeah, sand drains. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I guess so as far as containing the sand, none of those other materials contribute to that. We don't have to worry about the sand washing away if we don't have proper drainage.
No, because it would be pretty level. I mean, you're not doing it on a
slope.
You might have to have drainage on like the low end if the water was all going to seep through the sand to one end, maybe like one piece of pipe and an exit just to water got.
What about that black drainage cloth?
Yeah, they must be covering the stone with that. Otherwise, that sand is just going to mix with the stone, and like Mike said, the stone is going to work itself up. That's just the natural thing that's going to happen.
Yep. Okay.
But even if you put the cloth on,
how about I'll draw something up. I'll draw up like a plan view and like a profile, so you can see what it looks like from the top, and then you can see what it looks like as you were looking at from the side, along with the posts, which would have to be frost protected as well.
Yeah.
To me, that would be the most extensive part of it, was putting the posts in and making sure like we would do it kind of like you did it with the stuff. You'd have to
disc golf.
Yeah, you'd have to pour concrete around them. You'd have to make sure they're plumb and level and accept the net dimensions and whatnot.
Recommended 6x6s also, rather than Nate wanted to do 4x4s. He said 6x6 posts they found were much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not crazy stuff. It really isn't crazy.
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I don't think it is either. So are you guys set on the location over by the basketball court and playground?
I,
I'm not, whatever, you know.
Okay.
I mean, it's more or less like Mark. It's more or less like going out there with a laser, finding the most level spot,
Yeah.
even if it's kind of like downhill a little bit to one side.
Yeah.
So you do have drainage because you kind of don't want to make a pond.
Yeah.
exactly.
You
It'd be better if it was sloped in one direction. Than
In one direction, right? Right.
control it.
Yeah.
All right.
And really, for the people for parking, the people for the basketball court either park in that parking lot or on the side of the road. So they're just we're gonna have to tell them to park in the parking lot and walk over to the volleyball.
Yep. Which that's not a long walk.
It's
fine.
not. And if they're
No,
gonna play volleyball, they're gonna be fit and they're gonna not have a problem with walking.
it's not, but if we have 12 different cars parked along the side and, the street, in addition to, 2 or 3 other cars that might be playing basketball, I'm just thinking it could get busy.
I think we need to like reach out to either Nate or this gentleman from Sandbox and say, what are the dimensions, the footprint of the actual court? I don't, you guys might know that. I don't know that.
30 by 30 on each side is the regulation.
So it'd be 60 by 30.
Yeah.
Okay. I can easily measure that out and find out where the best location might be.
That's the ones that I play in. That's the actual playing area. So you want probably, 2 or 3 feet around it.
All the way.
Yeah.
So you say 38 by or 36 by 66.
Yeah. Like a little run out like on a basketball court or something.
Well, if you're going to have drainage on one side, it would probably be better off to go a little bit bigger.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go measure. I'll go measure both locations, see where
Okay.
like the slope difference is, and maybe Mike, if you want to help me, we can do that.
Yeah. Maybe the Sandlot people have some kind of sketch of what they use for drainage.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they have a diagram.
Yeah, right. Reach out to them and see what they have first, just as a suggestion.
Let's have Nate do it. He'll be on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, have him get
have him get it, and then next.
They must have something like 2 inches of stone, 6 inches of sand. Or,
Yeah.
I almost think doing it by the basketball courts would be better because if we ever get those lights fixed, you could kind of play under the lights.
Oh, that's a good call. I do like that.
And then if they come with kids, they got, they can play on the playscape or do other things.
Yep.
Maybe we should look into more parking down there somehow, some way.
Yeah. So I just know, like, technically, I think there's 2 or 3 parking spots down there, and
They're handicapped.
if there's 3 parking spots, 2 of them are handicapped. So I just know there's like essentially no parking down there.
But
And the other thing is shade.
We do own we do have the parking lot at the present town garage, which could fit 100 cars.
Yes, which is why I proposed it on the other side of the street.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
That's up to us to discuss. Let's let Nate look into. I don't know if anybody wanted to. I don't know who will respond to the email from Nate, but
I can.
okay.
say, listen, get us some more information on the drainage, dimensions, etc., and we'll look into a better, good location for it. And I think, to be honest with you, if we had to rent a machine to do this and like maybe a truck to haul the dirt that we're going to be digging out,
Yeah.
$2,000 or $3,000, we could have this thing done.
Yeah, I think so. And I think if we are going to include, the town crew in any way, I bet we could probably have them go make a delivery, like make a run to DeRoma's or
trucks.
something to pick up the materials for us.
Or
I'm sure they'd be willing to do that.
they'll have to take material out first, then bring it back, which I guarantee those guys would definitely do it.
Yeah. I just don't think we can have them for a whole day excavating, and then I don't think they'd be willing to do that, but they'd be willing to do some transportating for us, I'm sure.
Absolutely, they would.
All right, awesome. So yeah, we'll just kind of keep moving along with this and see how it goes once we get some more costs. Yeah, if Nate can get us like a diagram or like any kind of blueprints, that would be good.
Yep, I agree.
All right. That's it for old business, and we did touch upon the Christmas decorations. That's new business. And then the ice rink. In my time here, we haven't had any success with the ice rink. Shall we give it another try?
We need to get another liner since we chopped it for the movie screen.
4
That's-
times.
Yeah.
And can we do it with COVID?
Oh, that's, yeah,
That's why I put it on the agenda.
okay.
Well,
Okay.
hold on a second now.
And is it gonna get cold?
Yeah.
That too.
I think
So-
it's not cost
All
effective.
we have to do is put signage up.
For COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look what's happening to the basketball court. There's no
Look what happens
signage.
What happens at Home Depot every day, or Walmart, or the grocery store?
True.
You know, they put signage up, and it eliminates them from responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, I would agree with Mike. If we just put up some signage, then we should be fine because it is outdoors. And we've never really had, well, in the 3 years I've been involved, we haven't had any success with it,
No.
but we don't have much gathering.
Times are we gonna do that?
Yeah. How many years have we been doing it?
Oh, no.
Mike, you could probably be the best one to test to that.
Cost effective?
I wasn't super young. The kids were.
How many years successfully?
Maybe 2.
I was like 2 or 3.
3.
Yeah, just a couple. But
Lots of
when we
years.
first got it.
I say we sell the ice rink to Ryan Aubin and buy new lights for the volleyball court.
Yeah. I'm not entirely opposed to that.
That ice rink is a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Fun at night when we had like the fires and everything down there.
I hate being a Debbie Downer, but yeah, and it's not even like it's not just us either. Like when I used to live up in Massachusetts, the town that I worked for 3 years, same exact thing. We did it for 3 years when I was up there. Never once did we have a successful winter, because what happens is someone either rips the liner, like early December because they go on it when it's not fully frozen, or we just have a mild winter and it never freezes. So it's not just us; it really is.
It's a touch and go thing.
Yeah.
It could be freezing cold in December and January, and then be 40 degrees the rest of the winter. And
Yeah.
Southern Connecticut, Southern New England, who the hell knows?
Yeah.
If you lived in Vermont, okay, I see it.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
I don't think Foxwoods did theirs last year either.
we didn't even have a winter last year.
Yeah. No, it
Really got
never
cold.
froze.
No ice on
Nothing.
any of the ponds or anything. I don't think there was any much ice fishing.
No.
No.
Well,
I
people
personally
really
don't think it's worth it for the time that it's up. It's not up long enough.
I second that.
If we even get it up.
I second that.
And I hate to use this as an excuse, but if we want to eliminate all liability regarding COVID, there's our reason. We just can't put it up.
Pass on it this year too, with all the things that's going on.
Yep.
There's
I
the
agree,
rink in
Mark.
Westerly. There's the rink that they have up every year in Westerly. It's not that far.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if people really want to go ice skating, it's not like they have to drive far to go do it.
No, they
Yeah.
also have one in Norwich.
True.
And
Yeah.
I guarantee they won't be open this year either.
Yeah.
Especially the one in Norwich. The one in Norwich is indoors. So,
Right.
Where's the other one? Oh, the one in West Philly.
all right, we making a motion to not set up the ice rink. I make a motion. to not
I
set
am.
up-
I'm seconding.
All right. Okay.
All right.
All in
All those in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None. All right. Motion passes that we're not setting up the ice rink this year.
Tammy,
All right.
be sure not to tell us all the negative things we get on Facebook for that.
Yeah.
There'll be some flack, I'm sure.
I don't really.
Of course
Yeah,
there
there will be.
I'll nicely put them in their place.
Yes.
Well, we could come up with something in its place. I don't know what yet, but we could think about something wintry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
snowman contest.
So there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. That's a good idea.
I think we could come up with something.
That's
Well,
something. Yeah.
if we don't have an ice rink cold enough for ice, how are we gonna?
Well, okay, so I think Tammy, yeah, you're right. Like the snowman contest, that's easy enough where like we can kind of do it on a whim. Yeah, like okay, we got dumped on in a foot of snow, and the next week let's have a snowman contest, and a group of us will go out and judge or whatever.
Yeah, if we
that kind of thing.
If we
I like that.
if we put something together ahead of time and we said, okay, the next time it snows, even if this year we don't get to use it, we could use it next year.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a good idea.
Even a foot of snow, I'll be out for the weekend. Just saying.
Yeah.
Or sledding. Maybe we do COVID sledding and we make sure everybody's like distanced.
I did think of sledding as well, but my
Liability if someone
assumption is
crashes.
that it's a huge liability. Huge.
We used to
So.
slide in the middle of the fields.
Well, we used to have a Christmas tree burning.
That was
I am all for that. I grew up with that, like in my hometown, and then it's actually really funny. That town that I worked for in Massachusetts, I suggested that, and they were like, "Mark, you're insane." They thought I was like, worshiping the devil or something.
Quite a few years. Flo Harmon used to come down
With
and
the
give
horses.
hay ride.
Yeah.
Horses. We used to have hot chocolate and donuts, and we had the hill
Yeah.
with wasn't as big as it is now, where I don't know what they call the White House, because it wasn't all developed, and the kids used to slide down the hill if we had snow.
Okay.
outside.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, the only problem with that is people were just dropping off their kids and not paying attention to the kids that were getting too close to the fire with their scarves and
Kind of
Things
like
like
Saturday
that.
morning basketball.
yeah. And they were dropping off their Christmas trees with their some ornaments still on them or their tree stand attached to it.
They were dropping off more than Christmas trees.
Yep, there were bushes, you name it, it was there.
The house they wanted to get rid of.
That's so typical.
Yep.
That's funny.
First couple of years it was good, and then it kind of got a little. And I forgot why we stopped altogether. I think it was the fire thing that.
I think it was because it got to a point where there was a lot of young kids were showing up and the parents weren't watching them. And they were getting too close to the fire and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Jesus.
You could raise your kid or we sell on to the wolves.
but I don't know what the liabilities would be, but we could try something like that again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It's something that I loved growing up. I was young enough where like I don't remember any hooligans, but again, maybe I was too young to realize.
You weren't one of them, were you?
What's that?
Maybe you were one of them.
Maybe I was, yeah. But yeah, all right. I'm all for it. So, how do we even go about that? Like, we would have to reach out to is his name Jody?
Jody.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then put signage up and then put rules and regulations out and move forward.
Yeah. Where did we have it in the past?
On the field.
Basketball court.
Yeah, where the basketball court is now. Yeah.
Down in the hole.
All right.
There's still quite a bit of field over there, isn't there?
You can do
Yeah,
it on the baseball diamond. That's in poor condition.
That's sand.
that's true. We need to burn up that grass. Let's just do it right on the baseball diamond. That's a good idea.
Don't
Did
catch
it there
the
once.
fire.
Well, I don't know if we could consider on the other side would use the pavilion somehow, but not catch it on fire.
I mean, we don't use it. It would kind of be a bummer to burn up the leach field, or not leach field, but that lower field. That's not used for anything.
But the track area.
Adjacent next to
Next
the
to.
track area.
Yeah,
You know, like that's just not used for anything.
there's a
Again,
lot of parking there too.
yeah, yep. So we could consider that area.
We could do it on a baseball diamond when we had a barn fire for the ice skating rink one year. That's where we had.
Yeah, we had one there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty easy to clean up. It's not really. I think we had Paul Vanner donate a bunch of slab wood one year for,
Pallets. Yeah.
no, just slab, scrap slabs from his.
Oh, okay.
Because the Christmas trees only last for so long. You
Yeah.
can't,
Mine burns that.
goes pretty.
Yeah, it would obviously have to be monitored by the fire department in order
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
somewhat.
Yeah, I think they let us use one like the Hummer or something just to stand by. And I was in the fire department at the time, so it wasn't a big deal. But I don't know what you would do now.
All right.
Definitely should go through Jody to make sure it's okay.
Yeah, and we'll have to get Tracy's buy-in too, I would imagine.
Yeah, especially with COVID.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the whole kind of forgot about that. The whole gathering.
Whole thing.
Yeah, the COVID.
That's probably the bigger issue.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, if we don't do it this year, we could do it next year.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Now that I think about it, because we usually, or normally it happens like early January, mid-January,
Yeah, something like that.
and the way things are going, not in a positive direction. I'm assuming that we'll probably be in the peak of no gathering by that point.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
Depends on how quickly it goes through here.
Yeah. But
I think depending on what we have in our budget, we should start focusing on things that we could spend money on. The volleyball court is definitely one.
yep.
The screen.
The movie screen's another one.
Yep.
So I don't know. I'm not trying to jump around here, but
Yeah.
these
No,
are all
I agree.
fantastic ideas, but they're gonna
I
start
agree.
attacking our budget again at some point. So
Yeah. Let's focus on those two things. We mentioned the Snowman Contest, so we'll kind of keep that on the back burner. That's pretty simple to whip up. I can work on that.
the house decorating thing.
Yep, and the house decorating thing. Yeah, so we have a full plate here. So, all right. Yeah, I think we can hold off on the Christmas tree burning and the ice skating rink for this year. All right. Any other new business? All right. Correspondence. I'll kind of loop in what I was mentioning prior to the meeting for the correspondence. Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Voluntown, like the town of Voluntown, provided guidelines to all of the committees to allow indoor meetings. But essentially, some of the guidelines just would make it kind of difficult for a committee of our size to meet in person. Personally, I also don't have any issues with the Zoom meetings right now. They seem to be going pretty well and efficiently. But yeah, so some of the guidelines are no more than 10 people because it has to occur in the town hall meeting room or conference room. And then everyone has to be socially distanced, so 6 feet apart. Everyone has to wear their masks at all time. It has to be open to the public. And then in addition to all of those, myself would also be assuming any liability. So personally, I don't feel like assuming any of that liability. So I don't feel that's necessary that we have to meet in person. But I just want to make you all aware of that the town has provided guidelines.
I make a motion to continue Zoom meetings. I think it works. I think you're right, Mark. I think it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no problem with it whatsoever. We can still communicate.
Yeah. I
Email,
haven't had
text,
any issues.
you know.
So
Yeah.
so I'll second. All right. All those in favor of aye. All right. All those opposed? None. All right. So we'll continue to meet on Zoom. And then any other correspondence? Melinda, do you have any?
I haven't been to I just dropped off money to the town hall. I have not been in there.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have any general discussion?
Yeah. I'd like to know what our budget looks like. I know we haven't really spent much, but
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
sorry, Tammy.
No, I got it this time. All right, let's see. Out of our $13,000 budget, we've spent $1,211.45. So we have $11,788.55 left. And then
Okay.
we also have the Gate Street account, which we have $15,653.43 in.
Awesome.
That doesn't go away, the Gate Street account. That's for us to use for
Yep.
any of that.
So
Yep.
sounds like based on all our conversation, volleyball court might be the biggest dollar item.
Yep.
Unless you're planning on extending your Frisbee golf course, because that is kind of a hit. I know some folks that are really enjoying it.
Were we doing field maintenance still too?
Yeah. We have talked about that. Not recently, but
Right.
yeah, that's a good point, Kristen.
So okay, so just going back to the field maintenance, along with the basketball court, which Melinda kind of hinted at, there was some activity this weekend, which I was made privy to. Looked like it was a practice going on, and there were no masks. There were upwards of 15 to 17 individuals on the court. And it was made aware to Tracy that this was happening. I don't know if there's been any but if you're going to go with field maintenance, it almost along with the volleyball court, we need to prepare ourselves. This COVID thing is not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
In the near future. So we need to prepare ourselves for groups of people like the pavilion, like any open space, which we have to deal with because we're an open space program. If we're going to invest money into these things like the volleyball court, like the baseball field, that's almost an invitation, Yeah. So I just want to be careful that we're doing the right things, and notifications. Like I said earlier, you can go to the grocery store, you can go to Home Depot. All you do is put signage up and it kind of eliminates you from any liability. In the process of developing these things, we probably need to put money aside for appropriate signage. You know what I'm saying? Like really good, detailed signage. It's got to be sturdy. It's got to be installed. It's got to be, the field thing is great. We got to get the baseball field going. Yes. It's been a long time coming. We've tried and tried and tried. A lot of things have struck out. We probably just bite the bullet, spend the money, do it.
Yeah. And that's why we have the Field Street Fund. So
right. But signage is huge. It's hugely important. I don't think we have enough signage down there right now, to be honest.
I would agree. Yep.
I really don't. So even that, maybe we should revisit this next meeting and talk about some more signage for the field, specifically the basketball courts, because it is definitely being taken advantage of.
Okay.
By not in-town people.
Okay.
YSB did provide some signs about mainly like damaging the court and, you know, no drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
agree that we do need more signage down there.
So
Yeah.
like specifically, like if you're going to use it from as an outside entity, you need to get permission from the rec department and the town. It's got to be written. It's got to be documented. That bothered me. That bothered me a lot to see that. Number one, because I love the game. I love it pains me to see kids being tortured by being stuck in their homes. But we're also on the hook for it.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I
I completely agree.
And that
And
wasn't
that's something.
the first time, because I
No,
saw
it
that
wasn't.
fire.
Yeah,
saw
I remember
fire.
you said that it had happened previously.
Okay.
I told you about it.
Yeah.
That's something that I can work on. I have experience with signage, and it's pretty easy enough to.
Well, I'd like to just kind of make a motion to allocate a dollar amount to have some
Okay.
signs made immediately,
Okay.
if for no other reason, just to eliminate us from responsibility. You know, okay, so there's 17 kids on the basketball court. One kid gets COVID,
Yeah.
and there's one like ornery parent that says, well, he got it from there when he was practicing with his team that's not from town, but it was on our town property. Who's liable?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Tracy's also working on something as well, to give out to or post on Facebook as well,
Mhm.
guidelines for use of the basketball court. But I think signage is definitely a must as well.
So I'm not a Facebook user, and if I were a coach and I had no like discretion whatsoever, and I wanted to bring my team to a random court that didn't have any signage,
Yeah.
you know, that's kind of a no-brainer. You know, if there's no signage, they're not telling me to stay out. There's no caution tape or, you know, I'm going to use it. It's public.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that ought to be a priority of ours right now. You know, with the track, with the pavilion, with the ball field, with the basketball court, maybe 4 or 5.
The playground.
Yeah, the playground. Right.
Well, yeah. So I'm thinking just off the top of my head, because of the size of the playground, and the points of entry to the playground, we probably need at least 2 COVID signs at the playground, 1 sign at the basketball court, probably 1 sign at the ball field would be sufficient. 1 sign, 1 maybe 2 signs at the soccer field and walking track, and then 1 sign at the pavilion. So right there, that's what was that? 6, 7, 8 signs.
You're up to 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have to be big. They just have to have the language, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Just a regular, I don't know, what are they, like 12 by 9 or, you know, some 12 by 10, you know, sign. They're just like a regular handicap sign,
Right.
you know, but with the right language. So I'm thinking, and then as far as posts, you know, some of them we can affix to.
They can be installed right to the fence, Mark.
Yeah. I'm just thinking over by the playground. Is there any fencing over there?
No, I'll get fence posts.
Okay.
I have easily access to fence posts. I'll get them.
Okay. All right.
And it's a matter of driving them into the ground and bolting them, and that's it.
Yeah.
And what are we saying, like have to wear masks, or what's our?
No, I mean, I would follow whatever signage that is put on the front of a grocery store per state mandate. Governor Lamont says this, done. End of story.
I say we reach out to Patrick at Uncas Health and Tracy and see what he suggests, because that's what we've been doing all along.
Yeah,
He's
gotta
the
be
one
some
that retreat.
state statutes or something to follow.
Yeah, because on the high school level for basketball, even indoors, they're not talking about wearing masks right now, just because of the how strenuous the sport is. It's not like volleyball where you're just standing in one place. You're like sprinting back and forth. I don't know what's actually going to happen with that. They're still working on it, but sounded like from our athletic director that they were planning on playing,
Okay.
but a couple of the other sports are looking like they're like chopping them out. But so there may be different, it may depend on the sport too. So
Yeah.
definitely look into like, you know, Chatham and see what they say.
I just don't think, I think it doesn't hurt to at least have something posted, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like a liability side, like
Mhm.
you know, you're playing at your own risk or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and not just that, but well, yeah. So the COVID is, I agree. Reach out to Uncas Health and work with Tracy, and see what other generic signs are out there. It's probably going to go along the lines of, please practice safe social distancing and follow all local health guidelines or
That's
something
right.
like that.
It doesn't have to say a lot, just has to
Yeah.
be to the point.
Yeah.
You know?
But then it just like you touched upon earlier, Mike, with any outside group using the court, we should probably say this court is property of, town of Voluntown. Please contact Voluntown Parks and Rec for, usage or something like that.
Yep.
So in general, we'll say we're getting 9 to 10 signs. I would say that's around $200. I'm thinking $20 a piece.
Let's I'll make a motion to not exceed $500 in case it.
Yeah.
I think you need
Yeah.
more than the
More.
200.
Yeah.
Because mine were a lot more than that.
And if you get 6 of them, that's still better than 0.
Yep.
you
Yep.
know?
Yep. I agree. Okay.
Mark, you have a contractor you use for making signage?
Yeah, there's a guy in Rhode Island. I think it's a Rhode Island Traffic Safety and Signs or something like that. But I've worked with him a lot, and he does good work. So
Is he pretty quick or?
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
if
you can probably do it in a week or two.
all right, well, I make a motion to put $500 towards signage. Mark, you put on the language whatever you feel is right.
Yeah, I'll get it approved by Tracy. So
And yeah, and you get them and we'll put them up. I'll put them up. It's not
Okay.
a big deal.
Awesome.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor? Aye. All
Aye.
right. All of those opposed? None. Okay. So we'll get 10 or we'll get as many signs as we deem appropriate, but won't exceed $500.
So I was taking a drive with my son to get him out of the house because he's been virtual learning for the last 3 weeks. And I witnessed 15 kids playing basketball on his court where
Jeez.
his parents pay taxes and none of those
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
It aggravated the shit right out of me.
Yeah.
Sorry for the language on YouTube. Apologize. It really did. It aggravated me so bad. And, here we are struggling to keep our kids like occupied and happy and healthy. And
Yep.
they're just like totally like neglecting anything that anybody puts forth,
Yeah.
I kind of hope they're watching right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, we'll get it straightened out. So,
Okay.
all right. Any other general discussion? All right. It's been a good meeting. Productive.
Yeah.
Very
Sorry
productive.
for the rant, guys. I apologize.
No, it was necessary. I think it's good that we have proper signage. So, all right. Anything else?
I make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
I'll second it.
All right. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. All right. Meeting is adjourned at